Stunt Corner, episode 1, take 2 marker.
Hello world, and welcome to the first episode of Stunt Corner, a channel dedicated to the incredible stunt performers that wow us every day in film and TV. The purpose of this channel is to inspire future stunt performers, and these are some incredibly dedicated individuals with some creative souls. Please help welcome Marshall Badman Bingham.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So Marshall,
You.
how long have you been a professional stunt performer for?
Professional. I'd say I've been doing it full time for 5 years now.
5 years?
2015 was like full time. I could get rid of my day jobs, and that was full time. But I started in 2013ish, trying to get in. So it took me a year and a half to actually get my foot in the door.
What was your first actual stunt day?
My first stunt day was with a guy named. It was on Continuum. Do you remember Continuum?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kamani gave me my first ever stunts, and what did I have to do that day? Oh, I was a bodyguard for this character. I forget the name of the character, but I was a bodyguard for this guy. We pull up in this Tesla, and then he has this like raging girlfriend that's been like on his back for like the last little while.
Yeah.
We get out of the car, and his girl is like on him, like bees on honey.
Yeah.
And I have to get in the way and tell her, hey, like relax. And he's like, you know what? They have a little conversation, and then afterwards she just kicks the shit out of me. That was my first stunt day ever.
Cool.
A few beats, kicked in the balls, and elbowed in the face, and I was down. Yeah, I was.
What was the biggest thing that surprised you when you finally got to do this thing that you've wanted to do? Like, what was something you weren't expecting
on that first day?
Yeah.
What I wasn't expecting.
Like for
first
me,
of all, okay.
Yeah, like for me, the first day, like one of my first stunt days, I didn't wear pads. I didn't bring pads.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
the very first day.
Like, so did you know you're supposed to be wearing pads? Because I didn't know that shit.
I knew I was supposed to be wearing pads, but I didn't know how many variations of pads for different stunts that you needed.
Yeah.
So I thought one pair of pad was good for everything. I just had my G-forms, which are longboarding pads that are like this thin, and I had to take a hit and drop to my knee really fast, and it actually like threw my knee out. Very first stunt ever,
Yeah.
So
just for anyone out there, just to let you know, a lot of stunt performers, when they can't afford to, they'll wear a low profile pad underneath to kind of protect them.
Yeah.
If they can get away with that.
Yeah.
So who was Marshall growing up? Like, what was your sport? Did you play sports? What was your demeanor? Were you the quiet kid in the corner?
Yeah.
Were you the guy leading the pack?
No, I was never leading the pack. I was more of the quiet observer, I felt.
I see that.
I feel like people would give me that opportunity to have that authority, but I never wanted it.
Okay.
I just would, I would chime in when it was needed. And I never forced that alpha energy.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know.
Who you are.
Yeah. But as a kid, I was pretty rambunctious and, adventurous, always getting into trouble, always ending up in the hospital.
Where'd you grow up?
In Toronto.
In Toronto?
Yeah, born and raised.
T-Dot.
Etobicoke. Yeah. Etobicoke General. Started martial arts when I was 5. Actually, I went when I was 4, and the sensei told my mom, when he notices left and right, then bring him back. So it took until I was like 5 to be able to do it.
And what was your discipline?
It was Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Dope. Perfect.
Yeah, did Taekwondo until I was about 12.
Yeah. And for anyone else out there to know, Taekwondo is probably one of the staple martial arts, would you say? As a stunt performer?
I'd say it's a big movement one for sure.
Yeah.
It just looks crispy, and for choreography and fight choreography, it just looks, the footwork and the movements like really nicely. It plays really nicely on film, I'd say.
Yeah, would you recommend that for anyone that's thinking about becoming a stunt performer?
Definitely, I would, yeah. For kicks, for sure. And just movement and your coordination, I'd say it's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you had your first day on Continuum.
Yeah.
And what led up to you being in the Arrowverse?
Arrow?
Yeah.
What led up to me being in Arrow? So in 2000,
Because that's not a small show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah. Arrow, yeah. So I started on Continuum. That was in 2014 was my first stunts on
Copy.
Continuum, and I was doing, still standing in and doing background and just whatever I could do on set, and I would do a lot of background stuff on Arrow.
Yeah.
And I mean, by this point, the coordinators were starting to understand who I was and knew that I was trying to get into doing stunts.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was just brave, and I just took some chances, and I bugged the right people. I think I caught James Bamford, who was like stunt coordinating at that time. He moved on to directing and stuff, but at that time he was stunt coordinating still. I think I caught him at Crafty one time, and I was just like, "Hey man, like, who do you got stunt doubling this guy?"
Yeah.
Shout out to David Ramsey, who I ended up stunt doubling quite a bit on Arrow.
Spartan,
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, you're not stepping on any toes. Like, we don't really have anybody doubling him. Yeah. And I said, hey man, what's up? And he's like, you're too small. You're too this. You're not good enough. At first he was
testing you out.
But it was, it was fair. Yeah. But anyways, and he's like, you don't look like him and this, that. And then, that night I went, this is how I got creative. That night I went home and I messaged my agent that I had at the time, my background agent, and I said, hey, listen, I sent a picture of myself and I sent a picture of the guy that I wanted to double on that show, and I said, listen, whatever this guy's in, I want to stand in for him.
Yeah.
I want a photo double for him.
Yeah.
I want everything to do with this guy. Yeah. And the next day, I was standing in and I was photo doubling. The next day. I was standing in and I was photo doubling for this guy. I get goosebumps when I talk about it. I was and then
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, you did? Yeah. You see? It's just, I don't know, something just told me to do that and it worked out. And then I messaged Bam. I didn't have his number at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I emailed him and I was like, you on set? And he's like, well, I'm around, I'm here every day. I didn't see him that day, but he's like, and I said, guess what?
I got it.
I said, the guy that you said I don't look like and this and that and other, I'm standing in for him and I'm photo doubling for him today. And all he said in capitals, I remember this was like when was this? 2013-ish, 2014-ish. And I still remember like it was yesterday. And he was just, all he said was, ha, ha, in capitals, period. Yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever. But then slowly, they started to bring me in to do blockings, which is not, it's a rehearsal. Yeah. It's not on camera days. Yeah. They started bringing me in as, and I remember the first time they brought me in for a blocking, I was like ready to do stunts and I was like there an hour early. Window. I was crazy, but literally they just had me like filling in as a body and, taking some shots and ducking and he wasn't fighting or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then what really got me in was a audition, but it was really a fight rehearsal. I had to do with another stunt guy named Ryan Hanley, and it was like a 50 beat fight and like big scene. And after that, it was like it was a big day for me. It was still to this day, it was one of my biggest days. Nice. And it was like it amped me up. It just felt natural. And Bam vouched for me ever since then and got my name out there in the community quite a bit, Nice. So that's it,
So for anyone listening out there, you hear that? You got to be creative when you approach these opportunities because not every opportunity will present itself. Yeah. In like, with bright lights, take this opportunity. And you got to be able to be flexible enough like you just said. Yeah. And
you can't just be like single-minded, like this is the way that I have to do it and this is the only way, You can have your direction, but like if something's kind of like pulling you, like try this for a little bit. You got to like go with that. You can't just be so rigid because the whole thing about stunts is being able to modify and adapt on the fly and be flexible and you know what I mean, be limber and flow. You gotta be, or else you're not getting there. If you're stiff and I gotta
you're not. Yeah.
If you're rigid,
Yeah.
you ain't surviving.
You're
you have
not
to be,
gonna survive.
Yeah, you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
And one way I would describe Marshall is if anyone's ever heard that old saying, hard work would be talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. Well, this motherfucker's talented as hell, and he works his ass off.
Thanks, bro.
So that brings us to our
man.
next section,
you, bro.
is dedication. I feel like dedication equals freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a section in your life you dedicated to Taekwondo, and now it's allowed you the freedom and this career path you've kind of chosen.
Oh, for sure.
And so with that dedication, is that something you always keep, or do you find there are moments when it kind of starts slipping? And how do you pay attention to that? And how do you bring yourself back to that same path of dedication? Because that dedication, I feel like when they say you're lucky, I feel like luck is opportunity and timing.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
for sure. I don't believe in luck either.
Yeah, you know, so that's just you being you being prepared and taking advantage of that opportunity. So, like, let's say you're rolling, you're working. How do you keep that same heat that got you into the industry? Because I know sometimes it's hard to keep that same momentum when you're finally in, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you're hungry, you want to eat, but when you start eating, you kind of forget what it is like to get hungry.
Sometimes that energy lulls a little bit, but I remind myself, stunt work or not, living an active lifestyle is it's a lifestyle. It's not like it's not like I do martial arts or stay active just for stunts. I do that for myself as a whole, as a person, because I love it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's important to train and do what you love. I notice a lot of people kind of force things, and they're like, I have to do this in order to get here, and I have to do this to be a stunt, or this to, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be in stunt realm, but they force themselves to do something they don't love to do. Something maybe because they think it's, you know, beneficial monetarily or whatever, but this is a lifestyle for me, man. Like I just did some hot yoga just before I got here because I love it, you know. I've kind of lulled away from Taekwondo. I kind of got my base there now. I still practice my kicks and all that stuff, not so much my forms and katas, but like it is a part of my base of the martial arts I train. I mix it all up now. But yeah, being dedicated to Taekwondo in general has definitely given me direction. And at times when I did step away from it fully, martial arts, I noticed my life as a whole kind of went in an opposite direction. It helps with my flow to be on top of my physicalities, on top of these activities, and my mental state as well. It's not just about work. You know what I mean? What was the other question? There was another question in there.
No, that was pretty much it. Was just asking how do you get back to that commitment and dedication?
How do you get back?
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle.
and so for you, it sounds like you stay there. So it's not about the career, it's about your life.
It's a lifestyle. One more thing. So if I feel because you know, we all go through ups and downs. So if I feel myself not training as much or not inspired as much to train in that sense, I'll take time away to reflect from the outside. So instead of going like go, I'll be like, all right, you know what? I need to separate myself for a moment. You know, I'll go on vacation. I'll go somewhere hot for a couple weeks. And just to think outside of the box and creatively, and to understand like why I do what I do. You know, I question myself like, is this for me? Is this really for me? And I always come back with yes, it is, man. I love it, you know? So sometimes it's important to step away from what you're doing just to get that gratitude and understand what's magnetizing you to it and really reflect on it. I do anyway. So yeah, man.
And remember why you do it.
Why you do it.
Yeah, because if you don't remember why you do something, it's easy to get lost in that. Yeah.
For sure.
So if out of all your gags, and for anyone out there, a gag in the stunt world is like it's a
gig. It's a gig. It's a
job. A gag would be a trick that you got to do, or a fight, or like a wire gag, meaning
Yeah.
I'm butchering the shit
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
this.
No,
right
you're
now.
not. You're not. You're not.
Yeah.
Gag is just one of your jobs, one of your gigs that you have.
Yeah, a gag is a
It's
sequence
a performance. Yeah.
that you have to do.
Yeah.
And that could be on a wire, that could be jumping off a building, that could be jumping off a car. What's the craziest gag you've personally had to do?
Oh man, this is like the question that I'm the worst at because I've done
Crazy shit.
a lot
a
of
lot of crazy shit.
I mean, when I first started, I this is just one of them. It's not like the craziest one,
Yeah.
but this one got my heart pumping a little bit.
Yeah.
I was doubling David on Arrow, Spartan. He wasn't Spartan yet though. He was still his own character.
Okay.
And I think one of his comrades got kidnapped in the scene, and I had to. In this, they took his comrade and put him in a van, or put her in a van, I can't remember. And I had to chase after the van and jump on the back of the van and get dragged down the street for I don't know how long. It felt like we were going 70. I don't know how fast we were going, but you know, the pads that I did have on were blown after those scenes.
Yeah.
But anyways, they dragged me down the street, and I had to let go on my own timing.
Yeah.
Like when they say let go, I had to let go. It was like against all my instincts to do
Your
that.
survival instincts.
Yeah, but I just had to do it, and it like I let go and just rolled for I don't know how many feet I rolled, hit the camera on the first take. It was intense, but that was like a real stunt. That was like my heart was pumping. That was like something, you know. If the timing was off, you know, I could have got hurt. Other people could have got hurt. That was one of them for sure.
Yeah, I think people underestimate when they watch a movie, an action movie, they watch a sequence.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just take a passing thought about what they just watched.
Yeah.
But when you break it down
Yeah.
and think that some dude was hanging off the back of that van,
Yeah.
doing however many clicks
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
on my demo reel. You should put it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You guys will see this shit.
Yeah.
And then they'll just spend a few seconds thinking about how crazy that is.
Yeah.
But when you break it down, the crew that's involved, because a lot of people don't realize there's riggers that have to help set up the stunts,
Yep.
and the timing, the teamwork it takes, and there's just so much time and energy spent on making sure that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
In this, what's one of the biggest lessons you've taken this year? This is your 6th year.
Yeah, I'd say my 5th year.
Your 5th
full
year.
time, but I started in 2014, so my 6th year. So
yeah.
almost coming up to in February. Valentine's Day is when I got my first stunt ever, in 2014, February.
And generally in this industry, they say it's when you hit the 10-year mark that you've kind of officially been in stunts.
Is that what they say?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like that's what I keep hearing. But what have you learned so far this last year in your career?
In my career?
Yeah.
I mean, this last year's been.
And not even
tricky.
just have to do with as a stunt performer.
Yeah.
Like when you work as much as you do, the hours you spend in work generally is your life pretty much, right? Because you're kind of wrapped up in this world.
Yeah.
What's a lesson you've taken?
A lesson I've taken. So it was a tricky year though because of COVID, and I haven't been working all that much. I just got back to work in the last couple months, right?
But when you had those months to kind of
reflect
and think, what's something you've taken?
Something I've reflected on is that we are definitely a family. We're definitely it's business, but it can be very personal. And I like that. You know, when I first started, I didn't really know if I wanted to mix my friendships with my work.
Yeah.
And I kept to myself quite a bit, but I've been more open to being embraced by this family.
Yeah.
And not minding that it's personal. and I need that kind of connection for things to feel in depth for me.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that quite a bit, because at first I just looked at it as a job and work, and
Yeah.
but now it's like, bro, we're bros, man. We
Yeah.
hang out outside of work, we connect on that. We go on vacation
And especially
together.
because it's like your lives are in each other's hands.
Exactly.
So when you're doing when you're in a show,
Yeah.
and shit's exploding,
Yeah.
we all have to make sure
Have each
everyone's
other's backs.
okay.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest things that people that watch all the shit they don't
Yeah.
get to see
Yeah.
is they don't get to see how much people make sure you're okay.
Oh yeah.
When
exactly.
you're about to do something on a wire, people are running to make sure the pad's there for you.
in the right spot.
In the right spot, people
Or
are
whatever,
like
yeah.
watching you because your life is in somebody else's hand, and it's very rare to be in a career where you get to be that person. As an
Yeah.
actor or performer, it's slightly different because the stakes, the reasons they hire the stunt people is to help the actors do their performance. But
Yeah.
when the stunt department is by themselves and you see them all kind of like it's a strong community.
Yeah, it is.
And that's interesting. So this one thing you've recognized is the strength in the community
Yeah.
in this career.
Yeah.
And the people around you.
Definitely.
Cool, man. So
I don't know why, but I've always labeled myself an outcast or like a lone wolf. But yeah, that time alone, it was great to reflect. I'm pretty introverted anyways, but it did make me appreciate those relationships more, for sure, and to understand we're a family, and the trust is there. So, and I could reach out to anybody in that community. I feel great about that, having that.
And also another thing I want to ask you, and I'm a big about something that I've been kind of reflecting on just in my own personal life.
Yeah.
Is you strive to attain these goals. I'm going to double Ramsey.
Yeah.
You set this goal.
Yeah.
You end up accomplishing these things, and then what happens is that you set this other goal because you need to keep pursuing it.
Yeah.
Now, since you've found yourself in this career that you love, you work with some incredibly talented people.
Yeah.
You finally get into this career, you do this job that you've always wanted, and then I don't know about you, but you tell yourself, if I get this thing, I'll be happy. And then you get it, and then you're like, well, if I get this other thing, I'll be happy. And I guess what am I trying to ask here?
What's the next goal, or when's the next?
Yeah, like what's your next goal? Like what's the thing that you've, and it doesn't have to do with the career. What's something you as just as a performer, as an artist, as a human, in this junction of your life, what are some of the things you're looking forward to stepping in? So
doing stunts is such a fulfilling job for me in a physical sense. And keeps me active. It keeps me motivated. It's challenging. The community's great. Clearly, I love it. But spiritually, emotionally, I feel like I have to offer a little bit So growing up, I was kind of a troubled youth. I got in trouble. I just rambunctious. Once I strayed away from Taekwondo for a little bit, I kind of went on a different path. So film saved me in a sense as well. But I feel like I need to give that back to kids, and I'd love to mentor eventually one day. Let them know, like you said, to be determined and be to just make sure that they set their goals and they stick to it, and they can acquire anything they want, really. And just do talks, mentor, underprivileged kids. If they've been in trouble or not, there's still a chance to be successful in life. And just tell them my story, kind of. I want to do an animated short film of my story, just to make it kind of captivating for kids. Instead of just standing up there like a TED Talk. I don't know, there's nothing wrong with TED Talks, but just for kids, I think it'd be more captivating if it was animated, maybe. And show them my demo reel, tell them my story, tell them the dark parts, tell them the light parts, tell them that there's a chance for anybody. You know what I mean? Kind of. So that's what I want to do like continuing forward. Like I'm gonna keep my job and keep working, doing stunts. I love it, but on the side, that's kind of been in my peripheral thing, something that I really want to do next. Yeah.
That's for you because you're a powerful man. Like you are.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
bro.
powerful
Thanks.
spirit.
I try, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on that,
And so, like growing up in a community where you like, like I grew up immigrant story, we immigrated here. But when you grow up in communities where, let's say, you look at the drug dealer as your example, those are the people that make money.
Yeah.
Those are the people that have respect.
Yeah.
And that's the reality for a lot of people. These are the examples that they have to reach, right?
Yeah.
And so somebody like you would be a powerful individual for a kid who's growing up.
And that's their only idols,
Yeah, and those are the only idols, right?
Yeah.
And you said you've done some bad stuff in your life.
Yeah.
And what are one of the biggest things a lot of young people don't realize is that you can forgive yourself for stuff, because people seem to be burdened by mistakes.
Yeah.
But what I've personally realized from all the fucking mistakes I've made was the power of forgiving yourself, because that self-imprisoned place you keep yourself in because of the decisions you made, those decisions might be the thing you needed to do to get to where you are.
100%, man.
And so, in like the times in your life when you found yourself you were saying when you're in your youth that you were rambunctious and bad, is there any advice coming from that place or that age that you could give to somebody who's like listening to some kid growing up in Toronto who's maybe growing up in the same community you did? Maybe he's about to make the same decisions you're going to make.
Some advice?
Yeah, some advice growing up in that area that you grew up in, or like, that,
in that community. I would just say to be true to yourself, because deep down we know what we need. I knew that martial arts was a big part of my life, but I pushed it to the side for a long time, and that wasn't my choice. That wasn't my journey. I wasn't supposed to. I'm supposed to embrace martial arts. I'm supposed to be active in that sense. I'd say just stay true to what you love and be dedicated to it, and and be open to your opportunities that arise from everything you dedicated your life to. I'd say, just try to make sure you're not being influenced by people outside of yourself too much. Try to listen to yourself and your heart, and I think you'll be fine. It's important to trust your own judgment, because I think we're all born with the answers. We don't have to search outside of ourselves, so I'd say just stay true to yourself, stay true to your heart, stay true to what you know that you love deep down, and pursue it and be dedicated, and it'll all work out, man. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, bro.
Nice,
Yeah. That's what I gotta say. Yeah, bro.
All right. So a few years ago, probably one of the greatest current living actors we have in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Idris Alba.
Oh yeah.
The man, the legend, the myth.
The myth.
So you've had the pleasure and honor of working with an incredible talent. Like he's up there.
He's up there, man.
Yeah,
Stringer
he's up there.
Bell.
So yeah, exactly, man. So what was that experience like?
Working with him?
Yeah.
I've worked with him twice on 2 different projects. On Star Trek, it was a little more difficult to connect with him on that one. That was my first time working with him. Yeah. Just because it was really long days, and we were in prosthetics, and it was like 18-hour days, and we were going for like months straight, like no breaks, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but 30, I think at one point I went 30 days in a row or something like that. Yeah, bro. So it was a little hard, because that he's tired. I'm tired, and it's like, but I let him know that, hey, man, I'm here for you. If you need anything, you need a break, you need whatever, you need me to stand in for a second because you just need to chill. So I think we developed that trust on that show, and then the next show was The Mountain Between Us, and we developed like a real friendship there, we'd hang out.
Like real close friendship. Yeah, that's amazing. Man.
Yeah, we started hanging out outside the set, and
What's that experience like? Because you can imagine you go like from when was Star Trek? That was in 20.
Is that 2014, 2015, 2015?
2015. So if you went back to Marshall in 2010 and you're like, yo, you're gonna be working with the guy, and you're not gonna be working with him. You're gonna be homies with him. Would you believe yourself? If 2015 Marshall went back to 2010 Marshall and told him, yo, you're going to be homies with this dude?
No. I wouldn't even, that's like unfathomable.
Yeah, like that's a reality that you're like.
Unfathomable, yeah, man. Yeah. I wouldn't even, that wasn't even in my thoughts.
And that's being blessed, right? Like that's a path of that shows you that if you're around that energy, that means that you were meant to be around that energy. You're up there with people that kind of see you for, you bring this presence, right? And is that comforting? Does that like let you know that you've been asking the right questions in life?
Oh, for sure.
Was that a moment that you saw and you're like, wow, I'm going where I need to go?
Man, like.
Because I can't imagine a better sign than you hanging out with.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I knew, I felt like I was in line with my purpose at that point. Well, not just meeting him, but like on that first movie that I was doing, and they, I remember just crying one day on set.
Dude,
and the coordinator was like, "What?" Michael Gunther was his name. And he's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Bro, like you don't even understand. This is like changing my entire life. I never expected this." And and he was like, "Bro, it's all good, man." I was bawling my eyes out on set, man. It just the realization. I just felt free. I felt like I was actually connected intuitively to my flow, and I was going with the flow, and I was just in the right direction. But yeah, I feel like the more truthful you are with yourself, the more people can see you, and the more relatable you are, the more vulnerable you are with people, the more they want to connect with you because they feel the realness. So yeah, man, it's real. It's a real friendship. I mean, I tried to reach out to him recently, but he got COVID, man. Him and his
I heard about
so that. I don't know if he changed his number or what happened, but Idris, if you're listening, I hope you're all right, bro. I hope you're good.
Yeah.
I was at his wedding last year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like it was pretty huge, man. It was family, and then just this guy here. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like for real, Marshall Badman Bingham is no joke. I can't wait to read his memoirs in a few years because he just keeps it gangster like that.
Yeah. Badman Bingham, I like that. You just gave me that alias, bro. You just gave me that.
But that's a gift, man, and like. It's nice to hear that your next stage of you as an artist, you're looking to give. You're looking to talk to kids. Yeah. You're looking to kind of express. And it's powerful, man. Like,
this is definitely powerful for me, too, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but to state it and it's out in the world right now, to have that out there, that's like powerful for me.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Because I've been thinking it and just saying it, but now it's like, it's set in stone, like I got to do this, right? Yeah. So it's cool.
No, man, and it's one of the things I've heard a lot of people describe you with is you have presence. And that's not a lot of things people can learn. That's just something that people have, right? And I'm excited to see the people you inspire. Yeah. Yeah. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, like that's powerful, man. And it's funny because a lot of. You can go back to a section of, and like I was asking you if your future self went back and saw, because I ask myself that a lot of times, right? I'll sit there and be doing something, and I remember one it was like season 6 of Arrow, and I was dressed up as Mr. Terrific.
Terrific,
Mr. Terrific, and we had to fight side by side, Spartan Terrific, and I was like, this is some crazy shit.
It was sick.
You you sit there in an outfit, and then if you went years, I remember the first time I moved to Vancouver, I was sleeping on the SkyTrain station, until 2:30, and then when you stop, I'll go to a 24-hour McDonald's, rest there until like 8:39, and then I'll go to my grandma's, eat, and then I'll hit the road trying to like do some videography shit to make some money. Yeah. But I know I never had a set place of where I wanted to go. like you were saying, if you were vulnerable enough, you know,
Yeah.
you were open enough.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening out there that's pursuing their dreams, is vulnerability is a power. You know, they tend to teach us the opposite.
You're soft or whatever.
Yeah, you're soft. But when
Yeah.
you're vulnerable, that's openness. That's you allowing yourself to share and not be hidden from the world.
That's right.
And it sounds like once you opened up and showed the world who you are,
Yeah.
you know, gold came your way.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%. It's
Yeah.
like alchemy, you know?
It is like
Yeah.
alchemy.
You just let yourself show and shine. Don't dim your light, and just, you know, what's for you, what's meant for you will be there, man. It's
Yeah.
there waiting for you already.
Yeah.
It's just, it's up to you.
How's your mom and dad?
My mom and dad, they're
Yeah,
great,
like how do
man.
they take all this information?
Oh, like, I mean,
Because that's a proud moment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, parents worry.
yeah.
You know, you grow up, your parents are always worrying about. I remember every fucking weekend, my
Yeah.
mom would get, like, if she got a call, she's
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Oh,
What did these guys do?
Yeah, I terrorized my parents, man.
Yeah,
you
so
know, when I was older, yeah.
Did you have a moment where you saw your mom when it's been a while and you took her out for dinner, you did something with the new career?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a moment when you saw like a different way she looked at you? Like, I'm proud of, like, I always knew you were gonna come, you be here?
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of moments, but there was one specifically even recently last year, got nominated and won the Best Stunt Award.
Nice.
With Shook,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Shook.
Yeah. Shout out to Nathaniel
Yeah,
Shook.
shout out. I was on Arrow. But, I mean, yeah, and then I ended up flying her over here because she's in Toronto.
Yeah.
I flew her here, and then my stepmom and my dad came as well, and they were like, whoa. They were just kind of wowed by,
Yeah.
you know, the fact that, you know, they raised this kid that, you know, he's doing something with
He's
his
a
life,
superstar.
you know.
They raised a superstar.
I don't know about that.
Oh, don't be modest. I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it for you. This
Yeah.
motherfucker's a superstar. I'll say it for you.
Ah,
I'll
man.
say it for you.
I'm
Right?
having a good time, man. It's been a blessing, you know, to be received in this industry so well.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful every day, bro. Grateful to have met you as well, man.
Yeah,
Like,
likewise,
for real,
man.
bro. For
Yeah,
real.
I've loved every
Appreciate you,
conversation
bro.
we've had,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate you, bro.
So is there any specific skill set that you want to kind of start moving towards? Because you have the fighting down, you know, you're an athlete. I don't know, like now you're on the bike.
Yeah.
Is there any other skill sets that you're trying to pick up? Skydiving?
I've
you
done
know.
that once. I don't really love it.
No. I hate heights.
No,
So.
I would love to just get more like gymnastics type training in.
Nice.
I'm working on that right now. Because I feel like it's good to have great air awareness. Like, I've done a lot of wire stuff, but I feel like, you know, if I had more air awareness, I could bring that to another level. Just movement stuff. I want to get into wushu as well. I've done a few classes, like 10 or so,
Yeah.
but because of COVID, the spot that I was going to closed down. But like, I think that's like something I'd like to practice, like just for life. You know what I mean? Not even just for work, but just like pick up another martial art. And I think it's wushu. I've been thinking about it quite a bit lately. What else? And I think those two for now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if there were going to be 3 martial laws, let's say.
Martial law. Martial law.
If there were going to be 3 martial
Pretty
laws
I need to change my last name, man.
Yeah, man.
Martial law.
to give to the youth out there, to give to anyone that kind of is looking to pursue any endeavor, coming from somebody who's successfully found their way in something they wanted to do and are doing it.
Yeah.
What are the 3 martial laws?
3 martial laws. I say lead with love.
Lead with love.
Like whatever you love, like go in that direction. Don't just like do something because you think it's cool or because you're gonna make money,
Yeah.
or because that's not the purpose. You gotta love whatever you do. I think first of all, I think that you gotta stay open and vulnerable to opportunities, and
Lead with love, open and vulnerable.
open and vulnerable. Open and vulnerable. Open and vulnerable are kind of the same thing, though. Open and vulnerable
Yeah.
to opportunities and whatever life is trying to give to you. Then the third one would be to take risks, I think.
Yeah.
And not be afraid and not lead with fear and not, use excuses to dim your light or to hide from what's meant to be yours in the world,
Yeah.
So I'd say so. I've never thought about that before, but I think that's it, man.
That's a good way
Lead
to
with
live.
love, be open and vulnerable, and to take risks in life. Yeah.
You hear that? Take risks in life.
Mm-hmm.
Open and vulnerable. And I feel like as, culturally we pressure the idea of men not being vulnerable.
Yeah.
But there's power to that.
Yeah.
And Marshall, this has been an incredible opportunity,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah.
It's been a good talk.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
dope.
like this is a good place. It
Yeah.
feels like this is where we wind down.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for checking out our first episode of Stunt Corner officially with Marshall Badman Bingham and his 3 martial laws.
Yeah,
Is
sick.
lead with love.
Yeah, lead with love.
And the next one was being open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the third law was
Take risks.
Take risks.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Pop down any questions you have. I'll do my best to answer. And where can we reach you at?
Oh, I got Instagram, Marshall the artist, Marshall with 2 L's. And yeah, I'm not gonna give my number out.
Much love.
Yeah, much love. That's dope. That's awesome.
We the new rebels. They be saying good is bad, they be saying bad is good. Everybody got it misunderstood. I don't know what happened, everybody get to tripping. All the Christians get to slipping. Seem like everybody switching, everybody get to going off the deep end. They was doing good until the weekend. They ain't hit the flow with the knee bend. They was going strong but had a weekend. Oh Lord, I altered the truth. Say what's good is good. What's bad is bad. I altered the truth. Say what's good is good. What's bad is bad. New rebels. Yes, we make us new rebels. Yes, we make us new rebels. Yeah.